I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Grievance, thank you again for filling in for us. Well, there is a quorum, so I will call this meeting to order. First item up is citizens' comments. Do we have any? No comments. Item number 1, consider and take action on minutes from previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on June 4th, 2019. Are there any additions or deletions to the minutes?
Hearing none, Judge, I move we accept the minutes as presented for the Commissioners Court regular session of June the 4th, 2019.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, seconded by Commissioner McCann to approve the minutes for June the 4th, 2019 as presented. Any further comments? If not, all those in favor? Item passes. Item number 2, presentation by the Henderson County Historical Commission of the Texas Treasure Business Award to Athens Lumber and Supply Company. We have with us Miss Liz Smith. If you would please come forward and give us a little information about this award. We also have with us Mr. McLaughlin in the back. There he is. Please.
The Texas Treasure Business Award was created back in 2005 by the state, and we don't have a single business with this award yet. You have to show that you've been a for-profit business for 50 years. You have to be in good standing with the state of Texas. You have to have a continuous record of employment for those 50 years and run the same type or similar business for those 50 years or more. There's lots of other rules too, but we don't care about that. We care about Mr. Wyrick's Athens Lumber because, hold on a second.
I misspoke, Mr. Sorry to interrupt. Mr. McLaughlin, Mr. Wyrick, you know, your wife was a McLaughlin. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we ready? Because I still hadn't found my spot here. Anyway, Mr. Wyrick's daddy worked for Hahn Lumber for a number of years, and the story of why he broke off and started his own lumber yard probably went with him to the grave because we don't know why. And but he started a lumber yard with Mr. George, L.M. George, at 203 West Scott. And it was the perfect location because the train came, and when it stopped, on the south side of the train, peaches and tomatoes and other things got loaded on, and on the north side, the lumber and concrete came out and went right there to the lumber yard. After a few years, they needed a bigger location, and they moved over on what was then State Highway 19. Perfect location. People traveling could stop right there at Athens Lumber and get their needs, and then those state people came along and moved Highway 19, but they didn't move the lumber yard. But you can find Athens Lumber Yard right there with all the stuff that you need. Mr. Wyrick Sr., well, Paulie Wyrick, his dad, bought out the partner, and then over the years, his sons took over. At the time that he went into business, there were 3 lumber yards: Athens Lumber, Hahn Lumber, and Williford Lumber, and as you know, those other 2 are gone. We still have his. The main advertising he had at those years were just newspapers, high school annuals, phone books, and directories, and then comes along the internet and social media. Mr. Wyrick does not use those as advertisement. He says most of our customers don't use either of those anyway, so I haven't bothered either. And that alone makes Mr. Jimmy Wyrick and Athens Lumber and Supply Company a true Texas treasure.
Mr. Wyrick, thank Mr. Wire, we do have some information here, a certificate from the Texas Historical Commission. It says the Texas Treasury Business Award, and it is an honor, and along with all the other accolades we can give when it comes to being in business that long in Henderson County. Because we know over the last 50 years that it hasn't been easy. So we thank you, and if you would like to say anything, please do.
Okay. I want to thank my cousin, Sarah Jane Brown, who is the president of the Henderson County Historical Society, for helping me and our business to get this honor. And also the people who really helped me out on here, who was my father, who started this business. And I've worked there for about 60 years myself when I was in high school, and then went to college time out there. But then the rest of my life, I worked at that lumber yard. And also some of the people who helped me were mostly bankers here that used to be in this bank out here. John Rogers, who's no longer with us, was the president of the First National Bank here. And also another one of the bankers who really helped me out was Woodrow Walker, which I guess not many of y'all know him, but he was a good friend of mine. So I want to thank the Henderson County Commissioners Court for this honor, and I'm going to try my best to keep this business open as long as I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Anyone from the court wish to make any comments? If not, Mr. Wire, thank you very much. And thank you, Historical Commission, for all the work that it takes to get these things put through. We really appreciate it. Item number 3, consider and take action on refund requests for overpayment of taxes from the Henderson County Tax Assessor Collector. Ms. Cindy.
Good morning.
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 I have 5 refunds this morning totaling $52,784.03. They are actually only on 2 different accounts. One of them was a agreed court judgment lowering values from the appraisal district, and the other account is a 100% disabled veterans exemption was granted for 2 years.
Questions?
I just noticed there's 16, 17, 18 on the one, so they did that all at the
Yes, sir.
judgment at the same time? Okay.
Questions?
I have no questions.
Did we miss the disabled vet?
I don't know if they just didn't sign up for it at the time when they purchased the property, or what the deal was with it.
And so we're allowed to, or I mean, if they don't sign up for it?
They can go back 2 to 3 years and grant those exemptions on, that applies to all exemptions.
The criterion is basically when you apply for your disability status, it may take a year or longer before it's actually approved. But therefore, when it is granted by the VA, it goes back to the date of which it was applied. In this case, this individual must have applied for it back in 2016 or 17, and then it was granted as of January of 2017.
I have no further questions.
Commissioner McCann? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we take action on the refund request for overpayment of taxes for the Henderson County Tax Collector Assessor for the whatever it was, 50.
$52,784.03.
That amount. Yes.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Tooley to approve the tax refund request from the tax assessor collector for the overpayment of taxes. Any further comments? If not, all those in favor? Item passes. Item number 4, consider and take action on Henderson County 911 Communication District financial income and expenditures for fiscal year ending April 30th of 2019. Court, in your packet, you have the letter from Mr. Brown with the financials on how the cash flow or the financial statement is for them. They are in pretty good shape, as you can see. Mr. Brown had to be at a meeting today. He expressed his apologies for not being able to be here. Normally, we see this in conjunction in one packet, but this year it wasn't able to come together, so they sent this one separately.
But it matches what he presented a couple months ago.
Yes, sir. Yes. Are there any questions or comments? If not, entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, second by Commissioner McCam to accept the Henderson County 911 Communication District financial income and expenditure sheet for fiscal year ending April 30th, 2019. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 5, consider and take action on request for the Sheriff's Department to use inmate labor at King Cemetery located in Precinct 1. Sheriff?
Good morning, Court. King Cemetery Board actually contacted Commissioner Thomas of Precinct 1 and asked if we could help them, assist them in cleaning up the cemetery. It is a historical cemetery, so we brought it before the court. We didn't think that this action had ever been brought before the court, and for me to be able to allow inmate labor on a historical cemetery, it's got to be brought before the court at least once, and then from here on out, if the court approves, then we can continue to assist them as needed.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yeah, their picnic and their day that they have at the cemetery is July 4th weekend, and of course we usually go out there and make sure the road's fairly patched and clean the ditches best we can and do what we can do on the roads. So he had asked me for a little more assistance, and I talked to Sheriff about maybe helping with that, and they've agreed to do that if the court desires. I think it's a good idea. I think it's not a lot of work, but they're getting older. It's an older group. The younger people, again, don't seem to pitch in like they should, so it's mostly an older group, and they're getting older every day. So when he asked me, I said we would talk to the sheriff and see what we could do. So it's coming up July 4th, and I think they have they eat out there and visit their loved ones.
Any questions for the commissioner or the sheriff? Entertain a motion.
Court, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the request from the Sheriff's Office to use inmate labor at King Cemetery located Precinct 1 to clean up for their cemetery day.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Tooley, to approve the use of inmate labor at the King Cemetery located in Precinct 1. Any further comments? If not, all those in favor? Item passes. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Item number 6, consider and take action on resolution approving the financing by the New Hope Cultural Education Facilities Finance Corporation of a health facility located within Henderson County, Texas, for Quality Senior Housing Foundation of East Texas Incorporated. And at this time, I would ask the county attorney if he would come forward to explain or answer any questions.
Well, the portion of it, of course, there's 3 different projects, but the portion that affects Henderson County is expansion of the Arabella home that's out South 19. And these are bonds that are being issued by the town of New Hope, Texas, or actually the corporation that the town of New Hope, Texas created. And the IRS code requires that the county approve those. We've done them before. The last, I believe, that I can recall from memory, I didn't go back and look, was Mother Francis. I believe her new Mother Francis had one that came through that also was being funded by bond money, and we approved that. But if you guys have any questions, I will ask. These things are kind of odd, and I know we've got Commissioner Tooley that may be new to some of this, and it's odd when you look at the letter because it's kind of, you've got the city of New Hope, Texas created a corporation to issue bonds for a project in Henderson County, Texas, and so you read it and a lot of times you think, gosh, this doesn't fit. It doesn't make any sense. Some cities do this, and they create those corporations for the purposes of getting into the bond business, and of course they're getting money being the issuer of those bonds, even if it's projects that are outside of their area. The IRS code just has the provision that in order for them to do that, the highest elected official in the county where the project is located, has to approve the use of those bonds for work in our county. And the reason for that I actually recently, I've always questioned myself, well, why is it that they have to have our approval? And it's actually a benefit, not a detriment, that we go through this process, because if this were a project that the Commissioners Court did not like or did not approve of, you guys would be free to say, we're not going to approve it. And there is no workaround, there is no alternative to this, which means you guys don't approve it, they don't issue that portion of the bond to fund the expansion of Arabella in our county. And so, if there ever were a time that came along that there were bonds that were being issued for something that maybe we disapproved of, you guys would have the ability to approve how those bonds are spent, at least in Henderson County. But if you've got any other questions, if I can answer them, I'll be glad to.
Questions for the county attorney?
I asked my questions yesterday to Clint, and he explained it to me, just like he did at court. And thank you for sharing.
Commissioner Tooley? Commissioner McKim? Commissioner Giesman?
When the original facility, Arabellum, was constructed, I suppose this went through the Commissioners Court at that time.
I do not know the answer to that, Commissioner. What I can tell you is, and again, this packet was sent to us by a law firm, and they have firms that actually put these together. It is those firms' position, and I believe they're probably right, looking at the wording in the IRS code, that it's either the Commissioners Court or the highest elected official in the county that has to approve those. So there is a possibility, and again, without looking at it, that prior county judges have just signed on those without bringing this to the court.
Okay.
And I think that would be acceptable also.
Okay.
But I do not know, and again, I didn't go back and look at any prior ones. But that's noted. If you notice the cover letter, they put that in parentheses,
Right.
or the highest elected official.
Yep. That's probably the case then. Because I don't remember this being discussed in Commissioners Court, and I think the Arabellum that occurred over the last 8 years, 8.5 years. I don't think there's any question about the quality of the facility here in Athens. It is a peculiar way for financing to be done, since the New Hope Cultural Education Facility Finance Corp. is basically a Georgia corporation and the bonds are being issued out of New Hope, Texas. I guess I don't have any issue with it.
And they do, again, through the firms that put these packets together for them that specialize in the bond. The attorney that works on this, I've talked to him on a couple of these, and that's the business they're in. But I did go back and look where they sent all of the posting requirements. The IRS code requires that there be a public hearing on these. But of course, we don't do those. They take care of those. They handle it. They post them in the newspapers. and held the public hearing, which if you notice in the backup documentation here, nobody showed up at the public hearing. They did go through, and I do look at that to try to make sure they satisfied all of the check boxes. But
Any further questions or comments?
They didn't really say how much expansion they were going to do to the facility. Or maybe I didn't find it.
I have that. I don't know if I have that here with me.
I thought it was on.
Yeah, there's some.
It's I'll tell you where it is it's in the, I just don't know if it's attached. It's in the newspaper posting.
It says something here, 12 independent living units.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, it's in the
30.
public, it's in the notice of public hearing.
It's in the public.
Yes, it's actually in the notice.
I
Yeah.
see it. I didn't catch that before. Okay.
And a maximum amount for the Arabella project of 18 million. And then they have a Longview location in the amount of 58 million.
Right.
And then the Winsboro location was 14 million.
Yeah.
So those are the three different projects
I
that
see
these
it.
bonds would cover.
I see it now. Thank you. No further questions, Judge.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion giving county judge authorization to sign.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, seconded by Commissioner Thomas to approve the resolution approving the financing by New Hope Cultural Education for the Arabellum facility with the judge's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 7, consider and take action on selection of salary grievance committee. Court, this has to do with Local Government Code, Chapter 152. It is a part of the budgetary process. Statute lays out that you have a 9-member committee, of which 3 members are made up of the public if the court so chooses. And we have to go through a specific process of drawing names from the grand jury list of individuals to serve as public members. The email that I sent out yesterday gave the backup. The court can choose to use all public members. In the past, the court has not chosen that. It has been laid out in statute. There are the members in statute, if you choose not to use the complete public members, is sheriff, tax assessor, collector, county treasurer, county clerk, district clerk, county attorney. And then the last members are made up of the public. And this is a part of the process, budgetary process. If individuals within 10 days of being served, our departments being served of their budget, they have 10 days to file a grievance. And this committee hears that grievance. But be happy to answer any questions. Any I can't ask, I will always refer to Mr. Davis. Are there any from the court before we do this?
The names that we draw out, are they under any obligation to serve?
They are not. What I have proposed here today, that we draw 3 names of individuals that are to be first asked, and then we draw 3 more names as alternates, because it is not a requirement. We have to send certified mail to them, and they have to respond in writing. And due to the length of time that can take place, that's why we're doing this now. So we'll have plenty of time in the event we have a grievance being filed. Hopefully we can have those 3 members from the public. So if we exhaust those 6 names, we'll probably come back and do another drawing. Any other questions?
Are we going to do that today?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Our county clerk, Miss Mary Margaret, has the cup with the names in it. It even says in statute, must have a name written and folded. And at this time, if Angie, if you will draw the names and read them out loud for the public.
Robin Struble.
Say that again, please.
Robin Struble.
Struble, Robin Struble.
Brenda Dillon.
Brenda Dillon.
Gary Baker.
Gary Baker. Those are the three. Now, if you would, draw for the alternates.
Jamie Bragg.
Jamie Bragg.
Jeffrey Williams.
Jeffrey Williams.
And Mark Hall.
Mark Hall. Not our Mark Hall. I don't. We have the 3 members and the 3 alternates that have been drawn and read. Before we take any action, are there any other comments or discussion?
No comments, Judge.
No, nothing, Judge.
We'll entertain a motion to accept those names.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, second by Commissioner Tooley, to accept the names that are drawn for the Salary Grievance Committee. All those in favor? Passes. Mary Margaret, if you will make notification. Thank you. Item 8, receive financial reports. Mr. Bynum. Today we have financial reports from JP1, JP2, and JP3. These will be available for viewing after court in the county clerk's office. Item number 9, consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheet.
Judge, we have no payroll accounts cash sheets for today.
Thank you. Item 10, consider and take action on submitted contracts. Thank you. Item 11, consider and take action on request for right-of-way permits.
There's one out of Precinct 2 and one out of Precinct 4.
Commissioner Tooley.
I remember where it's at. I think it's Encore and Soul Express has asked to cross over County Road 2805 and 2803. Those are, I guess, maintained by dirt roads, and all they're going to do is be accessing from their right-of-way across our street over to another part of their right-of-way. And we met with them the other day, and we are in agreements with everything and ready to move forward.
Okay. Any questions for Commissioner Tooley? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Encore is updating a line and improving a line that's going to tie into a future project that we'll hear in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Entertain a motion with authorization to sign for either yourself or I.
Both of us?
Either one.
I move that we accept the right-of-way agreement with Soul Express for right-of-way access on 2805 and 2803 with the commissioner's authorization or judge's authorization to sign.
Which one? Yourself?
Oh, that's fine.
That'd be fine. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the right-of-way permit county up to Soil Express on County Roads 2805 and 2803 with Commissioner Tooley's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Commissioner Giesland?
Aqua Texas has requested right-of-way permit to bore off of their main line on 4307. The existing is a 2-inch water line. They're putting in a 3/4-inch line under the road to service a new customer. I have no issues. The location of Aqua Texas is serving the Lake Palestine area in Precinct 4. This is 4307 runs between basically 315 over to 314 in Moore Station. We haven't had any issues with them in the past. Any question? Hearing no questions, I move that we approve the permit for Aqua Texas to bore 4307 with authorization for the commissioner to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, second by Commissioner McKim, to approve Aqua Texas permit to bore under 4307 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 12, consider and take action on submitted budget amendments. Ms. Lee?
Yeah, the district attorney has asked that you create a new position, a part-time position, using excess funds in this full-time. So there's really two amendments, one to amend the position budget to reflect the new position, and then the other amendment to correct the budget.
What we have in our packet is this the one, or is this the one left over? It says probation officer on what we have in the packet.
Well, I don't know what you're looking at. I'm the district attorney. It's for $9,360.
Oh, excuse me. Scroll one down. There it is. I believe Paula from the district attorney's office is here. Would you mind coming forward?
We're just asking to create a part-time position. We have one of our experienced court clerks that is seeking to go part-time. She has some younger kids and daycare and everything, and she would help. We have storage and sieges and just a bunch of stuff that we'd like to get done and moved, and that she could help with. And then that would create another position where we could get someone else experienced and get them trained before the end of the year.
Questions?
And you're looking for a full-time person right now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
If this goes, then we will put her on part-time
So
and
you-
then
okay,
fill
so
her
you hadn't
position
started looking. Okay.
for the rest of the year.
I got you.
Yeah, no, we don't have anybody.
Okay.
Commissioner Chu? Oh, Commissioner King?
Is this part-time position going to end at the end of the year?
This will be just funded through the end of the year, and then we'll have to make a decision, through the budget process then, if we want to keep on with that or not, so.
Commissioner Tully?
I have no questions.
Commissioner Giesland? So this is left over. You've had an open position.
No, we had some extra funds. I don't know. One doesn't take insurance, and then we are not paying one that's maxed out yet of the new position, or new employee that hasn't used all of that line item.
And just that one position alone with no insurance is what, $14,000 a year? Isn't that
A little bit more than
a little bit more than that?
Yep.
Yeah. I think we had an excess of 24,000.
Right.
So we're only looking at 9,000, and which we're later now. If she goes through, starts at the end of June. By the
Okay.
time I fill that position, it'll be less weeks left in this year.
Okay. Just a reallocation of what we currently have.
Yes, yes, sir.
Any further questions or comments concerning DA's amendment?
No.
Okay. Are there any questions concerning any of the amendments?
No questions, Jeff.
If not, entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, seconded by Commissioner McKim to approve the budget amendments as presented. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 13, consider and take action on payment of bills.
Yes, sir. This morning I have $478,923.54 that I need approval on, please.
Commissioner Thomas?
I have no questions, Judge.
Commissioner Tully?
I have none.
Commissioner McKim?
I have none.
Commissioner Giesland?
Gee. Golly, you guys are sure fast this morning. one more payment to make to the appraisal district.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure how you're able to do it, Judge McKinney, but I'll give you one more kudo on your sprinkler control at the courthouse. Another under $100 sprinkler watering of the St. Augustine bill, $91. Good job. Too bad Kevin is out on a cruise trying to collect water for the jail, I guess. $17,790. A lot of showers going on over there, I guess, again. You heard anything back from the city?
They have installed a smart meter over there. I believe it's only been installed about a week and a half, maybe.
So we may see some improvement maybe next month then.
And then we'll have some good data.
Good. I don't have any other questions, Judge, or comments. I give you enough time?
Yeah, thank you. There was one that I was looking for, but it was minor. If there are no further questions, entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Giesland, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the bills in the amount of $478,923.54. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 14, consider and take action on submitted plats.
No plats.
Commissioner, sorry, I was signing in your spot. Item 15, open and consider bids. Ms. Nicholson?
Yes, sir. This morning, I need approval for the 2019 solid waste disposal services bid. I need to get approval on the specs and the response form, see if there are any additions, changes, corrections that I need to make.
Questions of Ms. Nicholson?
Did you get my information on the recycle bin?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
What was the question? I didn't hear.
He asked if I got the information that he sent to me concerning the recycle bins and the items that they accept for recycling, Precinct 1.
Okay. We're making that a requirement.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What are we making a requirement?
That they provide recycle bins for the precincts that accept recycled materials.
Is that just 1 in 4? Is that still the way we're doing the recycling?
I still
Yes.
have it.
Right. I still have mine.
Chuck, did you have it?
Is there something inside the bid that says when they have to call in, or when we call in, they have 24 hours to come get it or anything like that? Because I don't see.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a time limit. I mean, we did ask for the cost for as-needed pickups, but I can add that they have to respond or they have to pick up within 24 hours.
I mean, that was the issue before we went with the current vendor. So anything else?
Well, I just said, I mean, our person that's bid now I kind of put the tightening down on them, but I would like to see that because of how busy we are at Precinct 2, and when a big trailer goes away that's got money that leaves the yard, that's the only reason why I asked that be in there, because then we have to shut down and we're losing money.
Right, okay.
So, go ahead, Commissioner, that's all I have.
I was going to make the same comment. It should be a 24-hour turnaround, and it should be guaranteed, as it is with the current vendor. Because basically, if they don't turn it around in 24 hours, there's not supposed to be a charge. But the audit department, of course, doesn't know that. It's up to the precinct to monitor that and advise them through their billing process that we're not going to pay. The other one is you've got on the first line, rental cost of open-top containers with scheduled pickups.
Yes, sir. If we are requesting the cost that they're going to charge us if they only come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also have if it's as needed, if we call them every day. So it gives them the option to price both.
All right, so that's line number 4, where you have haul cost with as-needed pickup. That is for the open top.
It could be for either, and I can specify that if you would like to separate
I would.
those. Okay.
I don't know. Those rental costs look different than items 3 and 4. Make them look the same.
Yes, sir.
Because quite frankly, I'm not interested in a scheduled pickup.
Right. This also includes the Fair Park and the Senior Citizens Building, which would be on a schedule.
Are those the only 2 that are on a scheduled pickup?
As far as the bid, yes, sir.
As far as the bid, okay.
And then,
you've got the last, well, you've got minimum hauls per month to waive the rental fee. Where is it under other? Shouldn't we have what the rental fee is?
The first items that we're going to split the response and schedule for open top, and that is the cost of the rental.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The first item on the response form is the rental cost for an open top with scheduled pickups. And then I'll do the rental cost for open top container with as needed pickups.
I believe it's the terminology that the court is listening at that's kind of understand that the scheduled ones would be considered a rental because of the scheduled pickup. Sometimes, you've got that amount of time. As quick as the dumpsters are turning out of the dump, it's not really a rental. It's more or less a dump fee. If I'm speaking out of turn, please.
No, I mean, you're correct, but there is a rental fee that the current vendor charges us for the 40-yard dumpsters. Then, if it's a scheduled pickup, well, I guess we need to have the rental fee there as well, because
Yes.
I'm confused and I'm not bidding this.
Right.
So I'm just trying to make sure that this bid that we're sending out for them to bid on, it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to us, it probably won't make sense to them, so goodness knows what we'll get back.
Right, and with the correction that you said to do the scheduled pickups and as needed for open tops, and then the rental cost for the closed containers, both ways. If I'm understanding, that's correcting the problem that you're seeing.
Well, my thought process is, up at the top, I'd take rental out on both of those and put haul up there You got two type of requests. You're asking them to haul with scheduled pickup, and you're asking them to haul with as-needed pickup. And then down in the additional fees, you would put in the rental fees of the dumpsters. And you would footnote minimum hauls per month to waive the rental fee. You know, I would put an asterisk or something that ties to what you're going to have down under additional fees that lets them know if there is a minimum number of hauls that would waive that rental fee.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, the layout, I can correct that so that it shows the way with those fees underneath.
Because, you know, where it says haul cost with scheduled pickup, haul cost with as-needed pickup, we need to know. They need to know that the rental fee would be part of that. So I just take it out of both of them and have that as a separate line item. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So one more question that I had to come up is, in their bid, will they be able to, say they give us a bid, and will they be able to go up during this year?
On any bids, if the cost increases more than, I think it was 5%, then yes, it has to come before the court for it to be approved. If it's less than that, then the county auditor has the ability to accept that increase.
So,
I mean, I can add a clause in there if that's what you guys like.
Well, what I'm getting at right now is what has happened in the last 2 months is 4% of $400 is $20, and they went up almost 20%. And to my knowledge, I didn't receive anything through my office that says that, and now they're sending me letters, and I've already talked to my account manager, and I've already talked to her boss, and they went up $72 without me knowing. It didn't happen to all of these precincts. It happened to 2.
Right.
And I believe it was myself.
They've corrected mine now. Supposedly they're trying to correct it by giving us credit.
Right.
And did not go up.
Well, we have talked to the audit office and told them they told us they're not going to pay that increase. But now we're getting letters saying that we're behind and they're going to interrupt service. And I tried to talk to the gentleman yesterday, and you can't get a hold of him that wrote the letter. So we need something in there that says, if it's going to go up 5%, that's fine, but there's no knowledge. Do they have to give us?
Yes, sir. As the terms of all bids, not specific just to this one, they do have to notify us of increases. If I receive those notifications, then I try to let you guys know. As far as getting approval for the increase, like an actual item on the agenda, it has to exceed 5%.
So have you received a notification that it went up to
No, sir. Other than just you guys calling
20%.
in.
They told me that if a mistake was made, that they did not intend for it to go up. Now, again, that was a conversation I had with my account manager, and she's correcting it by giving us credit for where she did charge us the $72 per. Again, that's the conversation I had. So
I was told
they said it was a mistake.
Yeah, I was told they were correcting it, but now we're getting the interruption bills or emails. So.
One item that you asked for was the span of time you would like for the bid to go?
Yes, sir. We can do it on 12 months, 2 years, or 3 years.
personally like the longer time frame, the 3 years.
As long as it has a 90-day cancellation clause. Because we go with a different vendor and the service is atrocious. I don't want to be locked in.
Exactly.
For 3 years with no escape clause.
I'm in agreement.
Okay.
And, you know, for the benefit of the public, the current vendor has only done one thing over the last 5 years in Precinct 4, and that is the price went down. So I have no earthly idea what happened in Precincts 1 and 2 of why their bill went up by $72. But Precinct 4, as I said, over the last 7 years. I think we signed the contract 7 years ago. There's only one thing that's happened in Precinct 4. Price has gone down.
Well, the account manager changed, and I don't know if you've got a different one.
The account manager that we had when the Commissioners Court did the contract with the current vendor was promoted and went to Plano.
Right.
Still works for the same company.
Right.
But they have gone through several account managers. Some of the issues about a year ago when the new account manager, I believe the name was Holly Gambino, she was complaining that it was our account was in arrears, and not Precinct 4, county's account. Basically, accounts payable can tell you at the time that we received the bill at the end of the month, the length of time we have to turn that around so it's not delinquent is about 1 week. And it's been explained to their accounting department on numerous occasions that this is county government and we turn it around in about a 2-week period. Sometimes it's 3 weeks if we don't have Commissioners Court. Back in the old days of 3 or 4 years ago, before they started changing account managers on a regular basis, they understood that. Now, evidently, they don't understand that. And, you know, I would have thought we just needed to bring them in and tell them how the cow eats the cabbage in county government. So, it doesn't bother me if we want to go out to bid, and we'll probably get this all squared away with the new vendor or the current vendor. But there is the historical facts. Say it again. The amount we signed a contract for recycling and 40-yard dumpsters was price X. And over the last period of years, it's done one thing, gone down.
So are you saying that your precinct is the only one that is less than $400?
No, that's what it is. It's $400. It used to be more than that.
Oh, okay.
No, up until you two guys received a $72 increase, our prices were exactly the same. Isn't that right, Rebecca? For recycling as well as 40-yard. Yours price has always been different, Commissioner Tooley, because you had that compactor. There was always higher price on that particular device. But you were the only one that had the compacting dumpster.
Well, we no longer have that. We've increased about $100 to $150 a month without it, so we're doing good. Plus an electric bill.
No other comments, Judge.
Thank you. Do you need any other information?
Not at this time, no, sir.
Not this time? Okay. Do you need us to take action? Or is this just guidance for you to proceed?
This is just guidance. I just need approval. So I can either, once I make the changes that are requested, I can bring it back to court, or I can just roll with it from there. That's up to you guys.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 16.
So she's going to bring it back to court? Is that what
Do we have to approve that?
When it comes back, she'll bring it back to court.
Okay. All right.
Item 16, consider and take action to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
He can have it.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Thomas to adjourn. All those in favor? Item passes. We will take 10, 15 minutes or so, and then we'll start our workshop.